Hello everyone, good afternoon. As most of you know, we usually have here a non-profit representative or a writer. That's what we're doing this year. But today we have really special person in Loudoun County, Hine. He's the owner and founder of EatLoco Farmers. And a lot of people are amazed what he been doing. So I decided to bring him in to share his story with us today. Dan, thank you for being here.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what made you think about EatLoco Farmers.
So, first of all, I'm going to make a small correction that we're the EatLoco Farmers Markets and not just the EatLoco Farmers, because we're not farmers, but we do run markets. I started this about 6 years ago, back in 2017. I am a marketing person by trade. That is what I went to college for. I had my own marketing company for close to 25 years. We found a need in Loudoun County to start something that could give back to the community, something that Loudoun County was lacking, and that was a very strong and prominent farmers market. So we talked to the people that were running one Loudoun at the time, which was Miller and Smith. We sat down and talked to them for at least 2 or 3 hours one afternoon, Thursday afternoon, and said, this is what we want to do. We would like to build one of the biggest markets Virginia's ever seen. And that is exactly what we did. The One Loudoun market is the largest market in the state of Virginia, and we are very proud of that. We started off in 2017, we started off with, I think, 6 vendors or 8 vendors, and now we have almost 130. And we are pretty close to being maxed out. That market draws in about 5,000 people every Saturday on a nice day. On a not so nice day, that number can get cut in half, depending on how nice the day is now.
Yeah.
We then, that very next spring, that was in the winter, in the spring we started the Brambleton Farmers Market. And that's a much smaller, it's about a third the size, maybe a quarter the size. But we maxed that out in the summer as well. There's no room left for us to make it any larger. But it's a very nice community market. One Loudoun is more of a destination market.
Absolutely.
People come from DC, Delaware, Pennsylvania, counties all over Virginia. They come to Loudoun County just for this market. We've done we haven't done it yet this year, but we do a lot of polls where we talk to people as they're walking in, take notes, figure out kind of where people are coming from, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I have been several times, and it's always busy there. And a lot of different vendors too, like,
And that's we feel like that's one of our secrets to success, is that people like diversity.
Yeah.
We don't want customers to say, hey, we don't need to go to the farmer's market. I know all the vendors that are there, and I don't need anything. We want them to go, I don't know who's there, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They come out because they don't know what's in store. There's a lot of vendors that are there permanently every single week. We call those season vendors. And then there's about 40% of them are drop-in vendors. They only want to come 5 weeks throughout the year, or 10 weeks or 20 weeks, but not all the time.
And also it is only open on weekends, correct? Then Saturday and Sundays.
Yep, One Loudoun is open Saturdays, every Saturday year-round from 9 to 1. Brambleton is open Sundays, also year-round, 9 to 1. And then we just opened up one 3 weeks ago at Loudoun Station, which is also in Ashburn. That is, for now, is just a seasonal market. It goes from the end of March until the end of November.
So what about the land? Like, how did you pick up, guys, where is the location? You want to have that. How it started?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the venue is very important to us. The people that own the venue, like the people at One Loudoun, is a company actually called Kite Realty, or who we report to, who we sign our contract with. It's very important that they work with us throughout the year. They don't really have any skin in the game, other than it brings a lot of traffic to One Loudoun, but we need to be able to talk to them and say, here's a problem here, that kind of thing. So that's our first thing that we look at, is the venue and how comfortable we are working with them. Second thing is obviously location. I mean, if you look at the market at One Loudon, it sits right on Route 7. We get about 25% of the people every Saturday didn't even know the market was there. They happened to be driving by and got off the exit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's it's great for us because, that didn't take any marketing dollars and it's just flooded with people. But there's, we do a lot of, because I used to own a marketing company, we do a lot of social media outreach and a lot of email blasts and text messaging blasts and things like that. And, but all of that doesn't even close to compare to the amount of social media outreach that all 125 vendors are doing. Every single week, they're saying, I'm at EatLoco, I'm at EatLoco, I'm at EatLoco, and exponentially that just makes our numbers soar, and we love it.
So I know that there is, so you did talk about, I know that you're opening, like, it's gonna be total like 3 locations, correct? One
possibly
Loudon?
5, yeah.
5, okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about what is the goal and the plan?
Yep. So,
which is very exciting.
So the Loudon Station one, again, we opened that about 3 weeks ago. Under the venue is Comstock. They own Loudon Station. They own a lot of the buildings in Reston as well. Unbelievable organization to work with. But our I shouldn't say 5. I should really say 4. The one that's hasn't opened yet, with that we're very, very excited about, is Amazon headquarters called us back in August and asked us if we would put in a farmers market at their headquarters in Arlington. So they've built a park. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's not just grass. It's got structures in it where you can go up and look at the city. It's got there's a dog park. There's a child's park. There's all kind of part of it. Kids park that's part of it. And it's very well laid out. It's got a nice path that kind of goes all the way through the market, and we're going to be setting up alongside that path. They've installed power outlets for us, so our vendors don't have to bring loud generators. They've been also another venue that's been incredible.
Wow. So are you, this is when do you think will open?
Probably end of June.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
this is
end of
very
June.
soon. So are you taking a new application for vendors right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And what about like is the vendor are allowed to use 2 locations if they want to? Like if you have on one week someone in One Loudon and they want to go to another week, is that possible?
It's definitely possible, and actually we kind of like that because like I said before, with a venue, we really like that relationship, and we want to make sure that relationship's strong. But we want to make sure it's strong with the vendor too. So if I know we've got a very strong produce vendor, he shows up every week, there's no grief, no excuses, no drama, no anything, and he says, I'd like to come to Met Park at Amazon, yeah, we'll probably let him in. And we don't really want to just use all the same vendors. I'm not saying that, but there's a select few that we will take in, and there's some that we won't.
What is the capacity on the? It's gonna be bigger a little bit from One Loudon. It's gonna be bigger.
No, not right away. It'll probably be about. I think we're capped at. Believe it or not, I think we're capped at 79. Why it's not 80, I don't know, but it's actually big. Right at 79. So
that's a lot of vendors.
That's a lot of vendors. Yeah, that's a lot of vendors.
Wow.
But we feel very strongly that the way to make a market successful, there's a couple things. The first thing is, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. This is not a weekend, hey, let's throw up a market and then I'm going to go to my IT job during the week. I run this. You can verify this with my wife. You know her. We run this. I run it 20 hours a day, full steam ahead, and so does my staff. I have people that are full-time that work with me as well. This is to make the weekend come off like it does, to make it run successfully, and so we can go home at the end of the weekend and say we did a great job, and the vendors are happy. It's because we give everything we have to these. That's the first thing. The second thing is, actually jumped out of my head. I forgot the second thing, but that's probably one of the most important things.
Yeah, I mean, also like you said, you build relationship with the vendor, and they are great vendors. I mean, I remember when every time I go there, I stop on every vendor.
Oh,
to
so
talk
you're the
to
one
them.
that does that?
Yes,
Oh,
to talk to them and support them on any way I can.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is what. So what is then goal for the next 5 years? I mean, are you thinking, guys, to more expand maybe Prince William or DC or are you thinking like more to spread, because it is really successful, and of course it will come all back to you then, because you put your heart on it and your work and your honesty, and you care about also the community, because this is great to have.
I don't really know what that plan is. Opening up another market is a lot of work, and we doubled the size of our company this year by opening up these 2 other markets. We only had 2, and now we have 4, so it's easy math, right? But there's so much work behind the scenes. With every vendor has their own personality, their own financial issues, their own requests, their own requirements. They've got every one of them. Multiply that by, we've got 400 vendors total. We've got over 500 vendors that are waitlisted that we have no room for. So I would love to open up another market and bring in some of these waitlisted vendors, but it's hard to hire people. It's a hard business. I've thought about franchising. I've thought about selling.
It was one of actually to my question. Did you thought to franchise? Because I gotta tell you, what you do and what you have, there is none around us here. I mean, I'm sure Prince William would be happy to have this, or Washington DC, or.
Well, we get requests all the time to open up a market. As a matter of fact, in Prince William, they just put a huge mall up there, and there's a huge spot outside the mall that is run by the same company that runs One Loud, and they asked us if we would, obvious choice for them because they know how we operate. Hey, do you want to put one up here? And I'm like, I don't think so. And we've been offered by Middleburg and Fairfax twice, and Tyson's Corner, and it's just we have to be very, very careful. It's just I won't put in a shoddy market. I'd rather just not put it in at all.
So what can be then the difficulty to have that? I mean, is that like the land to find the right spot, or maybe what it will take to start this?
So the location is actually can be pretty easy because I know what I'm looking for. Like I know that if it's not sitting on a main road, I don't want it. I don't care how beautiful it is. It could be manicured. It could be perfectly paved. If it's not near high traffic, I don't want it. So that's the first thing. I don't know. I just think there's. I don't know what else there would be. That's kind of my main thing, I think. But it's hard to, farmers, for example, they've been going to farmers markets for 300 years. Trying to find new ones to come to a new market is very difficult because they go, we've already got all our markets, or we're too old school and we don't do farmers markets. We just want to sell from our roadside stand. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So there's just a lot of hurdles to finding kind of the right vendors, and
you like diversity too, which is
not with farmers. There's only so much diversity. There's there's produce. There's
I'm talking
protein.
about the vendors.
Yeah, vendors. Yeah. So we're a firm believer that the more types of vendors, the more vendors you have, period, the busier the market. So you bring in 20 vendors and all they sell are produce, you won't have any people there. But as soon as you bring in jewelry and donuts and lemonade and wagyu, and when people say, I have had bakery, or people will say the only thing you don't have is paper towels and toilet paper, and that's exactly right. And now we're thinking about selling them.
I would franchise if I was you.
You want to buy?
Then what do you want to share with the listener at the end of our conversations?
I'd like to share that I wish everybody would consider buying local. These are local vendors. These vendors work very, very hard. I personally make sure that they are either covered by the Virginia Department of Agriculture, VDACS, or the Department of Health. If they are not, they usually have to be one or the other depending on where they're cooking their food. But it's not really my responsibility. I make it mine to make sure that they are covered under one of those two organizations so that food is safe for you. But these people work very, very hard. If you haven't been out to the market, I'm pretty sure you've probably driven by it. If you live anywhere near Loudoun County, stop in, pick up some produce, our produce vendors have the best peaches I've ever had in my life. Like they literally run down your hand, and you know, it's just, everything is incredible. I want to give a quick shout out to Jason Plybon. He is my director of operations. He makes sure our markets are all together, tight, everything is running well. I visit the market every weekend, not every weekend, but most weekends, and I just kind of walk around and say hello to people, and he takes care of everything. So he's a big, big part of our team.
Thank you, Dan, for everything, and huge shout out to all the vendors. And you know, I remember also you have something for the dogs. If somebody have a dogs, I remember that's
Yes.
stable there. Pets Gently, right? I think they are Pets Gently.
Pet Ones. Yeah, we sell dog bones, and
so
there's dog trainers, and there's
so
everything.
if you have been there, you know, you ever been there, you should be really visit that. Can you share the website where the people can?
Yep, it's the website is www.eatloco.org. It's EATLOCK. I'm sorry, EATLOCO.org. That's it.
Thank you very much, Dan.
All right,
we
thank you.
appreciate your time.
All right.
For being here, and we're excited, and good luck on
Thank you.
the new. And we hope, we never know what can bring the next 5 years.
That's true.
Maybe something can come up, and you know, we hope we see you. You are in all Virginia.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Maybe you will.
Thank you, Dan.